Welcome back to the Cinema Draft Podcast, where daily fantasy sports meets the movies. It's your boy, Eduardo Jackson, CEO, founder, creator of the great Cinema Draft and DraftStream games. Welcoming back our OG Cinema Draft player and enthusiast. It's the one and only, it's Henry G. Rhone Jr.
What's up, everybody? How y'all doing?
Yes, welcome back, Henry G. What's going on with you, man?
You know, just living this quarantine life out in Virginia. Trying to get back on track.
RVA, huh? Richmond, Virginia. Welcome back. In the house. Our Andy Cohen-inspired Watch What Happens Live style drinking game tonight shall be the word time, because time is going to be of the essence tonight. And I want you to take a sip of what you're sipping every time you hear this word, because tonight's pod will end up covering movies that take place one day in where I just said it, time is of the essence. There we go. So I'm desperate. The global coronavirus pandemic is going on. You see me tweet about it, ranting every day, off my rocker with this stuff, forcing us into all these uncomfortable situations, positions, social contract is on fire. I just want to hear something good, damn it. Tell me something good, Henry G.
Something good. Me and my son started watching a new show. Well, it's not a new show, but we started watching The Flash, the CW property.
Oh, okay. How old's your son, Henry G?
How old? He's 5. He's 5.
Okay.
So he is in prime superhero, like starting to understand things, remember things. So like this movie, The Flash, this show, The Flash, we're all about it. And it's good so far. We're like 3 episodes deep.
Okay.
It's like good, clean, fun. It's got like, but it's got a little comedy in there. Jesse Martin's one of the main characters. He's really good, man. I haven't seen him.
Jesse L. Martin. Yeah, and actually, I watched, I think, the first 2 or 3 seasons of The Flash. So
okay,
I respect that. Yeah, he's gonna have a good time.
Yeah, it's good, man. It's these superhero movies and the shows. I always like how when you actually get to watch it, like in a series, like all of the little detail that you get. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like just like with what's my show this year that we watched? I mean, my son also watched Baby Yoda this past year.
The Mandalorian.
Yes.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah. That's a good one. And actually you kind of jumpstart us, but hell, let's just go right into
all right.
what we're watching. And yeah, so you led the way. So yeah, talk some more about The Mandalorian. What did you like about The Mandalorian?
Man, first of all, of course, we love Baby Yoda. I mean, even my son, he was like, "Oh, this dude is cool, man." I was like, "Yeah, this dude is cool." And just like the powers, like seeing him develop, it was great, man. I mean, it was just also like the mystery because it's a Star Wars story, and I'm a Star Wars guy, but I don't know everything about it. So like, it was just great to see this like brand new story unfold on the screen. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I believe this takes place in the gap between, I guess, episode. It's between the end of the first trilogy and the beginning of the second trilogy, right? That's the gap, like between episode 6 and episode 7. Like so, so the Empire's been kind of broken up, and everyone's kind of just looking out for self, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the Empire's definitely broken up because what's my boy Giancarlo Esposito comes in towards the end of the season, and he is
Grand Moff something
of the old school Empire.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I remember this one too. The spaceship one. It's kind of a bit of a bottle episode where they brought in, someone said Space Boston, aka Bill Burr, was in there.
Yes. That was crazy, right?
In all his mass hole accent and glory and everything. But no, that was a good episode too, and that was a really cool shot from that one. Ming-Na, I love her.
Yeah,
beauty. Yeah, and a lot of great cameos, guest stars, what have you, and of course the Baby Yoda. He was excellent. I think did we establish it was a he? And it a they?
It's a he.
It's a he?
Yeah.
Baby Yoda. Yeah, so yeah, the child, as they refer to him as well. So yeah, so that was, I really enjoyed that. I'm looking forward to season 2. It's supposed to have, I think, Rosario Dawson in it. So, some more guest stars lined up. Should be good stuff. Yeah, there goes our boy. More
Gus
House,
Fring.
the House alumnus.
Oh, he is. Go ahead, Gus Fring.
Carlo. Yeah, baby. That's how Spike found him and Samuel L. as well.
Okay.
Yeah, Mandalorian. All right, so you're kind of going a little Back to the Future.
Yeah.
For your watching. Myself, I have finished up the Gauntlet of the Outlander.
Really?
Outlander Gauntlet. Yeah, have you watched Outlander? You familiar?
It's on my queue.
So good. Now, of course, I'm a sucker for historical fiction, so it's right up my alley. But god dang,
it's just fantasy, right? I mean, because it's science fiction fantasy. Because doesn't the character go back in time or jump time or?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, so it's the basic premise. This Katrina Balfe, who actually got her start as a model and well deserved, I might add, but great actor as well. She plays a World War II veteran nurse. Like World War II just ended. She's on her honeymoon in the Scottish Highlands. She's English. She's British. No, English. Let me make that very clear. She's English on holiday with her on honeymoon with her also English husband. They're in the Scottish Highlands. They come across like mini Stonehenge-like stones that turn out to be magical and transport her back through time and and so she goes from basically 1946 back to 1743. And it's just, it's wild. Just imagine if you, like today, like wearing what you're wearing, were just plopped back into 1743 America, whatever, it would be a shock to your system. So she's immediately deposited in the Scottish Highlands during clan culture, the sea, and so she had, how they're gearing up for their war against the English, who were kind of occupying, invading force or whatever. And it's really cool how they stretched that out from there over the next, 30 years. There's like a 20-year gap that they kind of cover where she goes back to 1971, and she kind of gets homesick, whatever, and goes back to, she gets retransported back to 1945, I guess. Spends 20 years back in her present, then goes back in time. It's just wild. It's based on the series of really celebrated books, whatever, by Diana Gabaldon or whatever, who sometimes comes in and writes the odd episode. But it's finished. I just finished the 5th season. It's only 5 seasons deep. It's been easily renewed for a 6th season. I guess there's like 7 or 8 books or whatever, and it's just wild. Right now they're on the precipice of the American Revolution. They're in the colonies, and everyone's getting ready to rebel and stuff. It's a lot of tensions are heightened. It's really cool. I like it. I like these historical fiction. I won't lie. So
okay,
my alley. Definitely.
Yeah, definitely. It's on the queue. So I'm glad you gave it some good reviews.
Yeah, and who knows when season 6 will come around. Season 5 was dropped like 4 months ago, I think, or the last episode of season 5 aired 4 months ago. It's on Stars, so if you got Stars, it's already there, right next to your Power.
Right, that's right. I'm finishing up actually my Power season 6.
Yeah, it's going a little off the rails, but I do love the setup for like the Power extended universe. Tariq, we hate you. Coming back in September. Watch out now.
Yeah, I got into Power this year, and I know I'm super late on it, but it's been a good show, man. But like you said, it got more as it's just like a market difference because I've watched it all this year. So like the first 2 seasons were like more, I wouldn't say, I don't know, I guess realistic, and then it just got more and more like crazy and wild.
That it is. So do you have a favorite? Like, yeah. So who are your favorites, and who do you like the best, and who do you hate the most on Power?
I love Ghost. I love Tommy. Like Tommy is my dude.
Yeah.
Tommy, because Tommy's funny. Like Tommy provides a comic relief in there. Tommy's funny. He's a gangster. I really hated Kanan, like back in the day. Like I'm just like, yo, Kanan is just messing all of y'all up.
AK 50 Cent.
Yep, AK 50. And I used to like Layla Loren's character, Angie.
Angie, yeah.
They kind of got, I mean, their relationship, he's funny.
Yeah, he's
He is
violent.
funny. He is just funny. I'm just like, every time I see him do this, I'm like, oh, no. But yeah, they were cool at first, and then it was just like, you guys are ridiculous, Angie and Ghost. But
yeah. No, I enjoy that show, but in the way they set up the extended power universes, I mean, you know, kind of like not even so much if it ain't broke, don't fix it, but more like, you know what, you guys love these characters so much, and if I'm Courtney Agbo Kemp, I love collecting checks so much. Well, as well spin them off into 4 additional directions. So I'm intrigued. Yeah. They got my eyeballs. She's earned it as far as I'm concerned. She's earned it.
Yeah, I listened to a podcast with her talking about the show after I think season 2. It was a really good podcast, man.
Yeah,
she provided a lot of insight into the show and the characters, like a lot deeper than I thought. Like, I don't know. I mean, from your experience, you can probably tell, but like from the way she was talking on the show or on the podcast, it was like these characters, all the characters on the show have like their own backstory that we don't even see like on screen. So it's like they fully developed these people. So it's just like, say for example, you got Rotimi up here. Like if he was a chess player, like he may not play it on screen, but it's like the way he acts on screen is because there's all these full development of characters behind screen. I was just like, yo, this is really deep. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, she's put in the work and thought about these characters, and we're gonna see them fully explored with I guess the chapter 2. I forget what the second chapter is called, but the second chapter focuses on Tariq, so that's gonna be. I mean, Michael Rainey Jr. I mean, look, I saw this other movie he was in, some basketball movie for Netflix. It was terrible. He wasn't that good in it. But when it comes to Tariq, he's so good because he really makes you hate his ass. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, he might have surpassed Joffrey as far as killable kids. Like, I wanted him to.
No, Joffrey. Whoa. Now you're bringing up a legend, man. Like Joffrey.
How deep are you in season 6, man? That's all I gotta ask. I mean, he pulls some.
I'm about halfway through, so he hasn't. I mean, he's done his regular Tariq.
Check back the end of the season, bro. Check back. All right, so you're watching Power. The other thing I'm watching, and this is actually from our DraftStream game previous week. They actually pump faked us and released it about a month and a half later. Is Esther Pavitsky's "Hot for My Name"? And Esther Pavitsky, if you're not familiar, wow, did she not get a credit on this? Oh, this is wild. I honestly thought this would have been no. There should be a credit for this. Hot for My Name. There we go. Esther Pavitsky, if you don't know, she's the kind of Cupid doll-faced woman from Alone Together. She played she and her counterpart Benji played basically worse versions of themselves. I called it Seinfeld for millennials. Every episode was truly about nothing. It was glorious. I mean, little microaggressions of the young and everything. It was great watching her work and just be really selfish and needy. Basically, this is a stand-up special interspersed with real life interaction with her parents when she goes back to the Midwest where she's from and to hang out with her parents. And basically, like all comedians, she says that she must be tortured in some way. She must have had a bad childhood. And her parents are like, what are you talking about? You're fine. It was normal. It was just kind of fun watching her interact with her parents and then splicing that with parts of her stand-up from these various cities. And wow, they gave us like no pictures, huh? Okay, that's what's up. Apparently I was the only one that watched this. Anyways, Esther is hilarious. She's got a very interesting brand of humor. She's totally adorable and plays off-it. She's like 5 feet. She's tiny, tiny and thin, but she's always kind of playing up like just the dichotomy of being a super young-looking person. She's like 32. We'd never guess. She's 32, a super young-looking person in a very adult world, and it's really fun. I highly recommend everyone check it out if you can, and definitely check out
series.
Definitely check out Alone Together. She's fire. There's only 2 seasons, 2 brief, I think, like 13-episode seasons, but it was glorious. I loved it. They're just so quirky and weird. There's a picture of Chris Delia, who I know is now canceled, whatever. He plays Benji's brother. Yeah, there's 2 of them. He's the stars. They're both short and small. And I think also Jewish too, maybe. I think I think there's a lot of Judaism talk on there as well. It's a fun show. I really enjoyed it. It's like Seinfeld for Millennials. Check it out if you can.
Okay.
Yeah. Your boy Joseph C. Phillips. He was on a Cosby Show, wasn't he?
I was gonna say, yeah, he was. I was like, what is
boyfriend, husband?
I think so.
Yeah. Keep getting them checks, man.
There you go.
All right. Well, in that segment, I'm going to roll right into our top 5 of the week. And this week, we're going with top 5 movies that take place in one day. Now, the way the game is played, for those of you who are new or who have forgotten, and I'm just going to keep playing tag as long as I'm on Zoom, and hopefully this is the last week I'm on Zoom. WebEx, I'm coming for you. This is bullshit. I'm going to keep tagging myself back in as my video keeps failing. Anyways, as for those of you who are unfamiliar, the way we play this game is someone names a movie whose plot takes place over a single day or 24-hour period. We alternate picks. Once someone picks a movie, the movie is out of play. And as always, I'm a gracious host. So as the guest, Henry G, draw first blood, and I already know where you're going.
See, I think you know where I'm going, but I'm going to throw you a curveball. And I'm going to go, how about the 25th hour?
Oh, okay. That's actually on my list, but not what I thought you'd pick for first. So,
well, you had it too. Okay.
All right, so you're gonna go for it. I'm glad one of my picks survived. Well played.
Oh man, so I love 25th Hour the first time I saw. It's a Spike Lee joint. Yes, it is a Spike Lee joint. I love this movie when it first came out. I've probably seen it 2 or 3 times maybe. It's funny, Barry Pepper's up there because remember Barry Pepper was on that trajectory of like superstar, and then it seemed like he kind of got muddled in the wind.
They really tried to make him happen. I don't know why it didn't happen for him.
Yeah, because I think he was in. Did you ever watch that show? It was a Netflix thing with him and Greg Kinnear, the Kennedys or something like that.
Yeah, it was a Kennedy show. I think it was called the Kennedys. Yeah, it aired on History.
Pretty good. Yeah, but I like this for 25th Hour. I liked it. I remember it being like, just kind of intense. The relationship with Eddie Norton and his Russian, I think it was Russian drug connects. I remember him getting ready to go to prison at the end and him asking Barry Pepper and them to beat him up because he was too pretty to go in. Wow. I didn't know you were that pretty, but it's like, okay. And then, of course, our boy Clay Davis was in there. I remember he was an agent.
Oh, forgot about that.
Yeah, because he was like, you're royalty. I was like, oh, Clay Davis is up in here, man. But yeah, man, it was just like a good movie, like just something kind of different for back in the day. And I liked it.
Oh yeah, I had Rosario. That I do remember. I've only watched it once. I need to rewatch it because people keep talking about it. They even did an episode of the Rewatchables on that podcast. With, Bill
really? Okay.
Yeah, that just came out I think last night. So it's definitely on my short list to rewatch. And partially because of the DraftStream game, victim of our own success to an extent. I mean, there's so much good stuff to watch these days. I'm still getting caught up. Like, I started season 3 of Absentia, and going along with my Wire, the Wire rewatch with Jamel and Van and their podcast, doing recaps of it. So,
okay.
So this is on there though, and also right now I'm also watching Fear, or I just started last night, the new Fear City, New York.
Oh, I might watch an episode of that tonight.
Yeah, and it's cool. No, I never saw the show Don't Fuck with Cats. One, I'm not that big a cat lover, but I heard it's a real mind trip. And same productions from that doing this show. And so I don't know if their style is the same, but it's very interesting. They've got all the major players on record, like the agents who are chasing them and the mobsters who are alive still, who are doing the dirt, and they're all like kind of coming clean. So it's really interesting. I think you enjoy it. All right, so that's cool. That's a good start, and was at the lower end of my list, but I'm gonna take this one off because I know you're definitely gunning for it. It's Training Day. It's in the title. It's in the title. Denzel, my favorite actor of all time, period. It's more than just a podcast; it's a lifestyle. He truly is my favorite actor of all time. I used to when
He's
I was
great.
when I was in drama school, I'd have and I was in and we were acting like I think in like the second quarter or whatever, third quarter, and I would always watch a little bit of Denzel before each performance. Just go on, just get
Yeah, man.
just channel him. And this is his Oscar-winning role. Now, obviously, he was shorted from Malcolm X almost a decade earlier, and some people are saying this is a bit of a make good, whatever. But I don't care. I think people were dazzled by the fact that he went and became like a bad guy, like he really committed to being a bad guy, whereas Denzel's truly the hero. But he's just so charismatic, kind of blows Ethan Hawke off the screen, even though somehow Ethan Hawke got nominated. And I mean, I didn't hate on it, but I was like, I didn't really remember anything he did that was that great in the movie. It was really all a Denzel,
Right.
showcase. But I mean, Denzel's great in this. It does take place over one truly chaotic day. I mean, the mobs, money, drugs. For those who are unfamiliar, some way somehow, maybe you're just too young. Basically, it's Denzel plays a veteran cop named Alonzo who takes on this rookie white boy. He's not really a rookie. He's been a few years in the force, but he's a rookie to his unit, and so he takes him on as his partner for a day, driving in some Impala on switches. Because he's been an undercover cop, whatever. And he's just and Eva Mendes, woo,
Yeah.
oh my goodness, just incredibly hot in this movie, so gorgeous. She plays his girlfriend, and it just kind of takes you over the landscape of kind of South LA over the course of the day. South LA to downtown. I don't even think you go like north of the 10 really in this entire movie. So very interesting look at South to South Central LA over the course of one day. Training day. Boom.
Good stuff, man.
That's what's your next one?
I think I'm gonna go with Collateral, man.
All right, you got one. That was mine. You got it.
Yeah, this one. This is one of my favorites, man. What 2004? That's how we know we're getting old, man. I'm like thinking these things came out like 5 years ago. It's like, oh no, 2004, bro. Like, yeah, this is a good movie. First of all, like it's funny now because you got the Tom Cruise, Jamie Foxx, Katie Holmes connection all there.
Hey, did it start from this movie? Like, I mean, this is the first time they worked together, right?
Probably.
I think it might. I mean, not to. I might do some half-assed internet research on that, but I'm pretty sure it might have started from this movie because they were married then. Katie Holmes and Tom Cruise. Yeah,
I think they were going hard. So, yeah, to me, like this movie was good. It was very intense. I remember it being very fast. It's a Michael Mann movie, and Michael Mann did Heat, right?
Yes.
Yes.
And Miami Vice. Don't forget Miami Vice.
And Miami Vice. That's right.
Low-key underrated movie of the century.
The what?
Low-key underrated movie of the century. Oh, so good.
Yeah. So he likes Jamie Foxx because he was in that too. Yeah. That was good, man. And Jamie Foxx, he plays a very good role to me of like the kind of like this underdog. Oh, who is that?
Oh, that's Javier Bardem.
Oh, I forgot.
Low-key Javier Bardem.
Yeah.
Yes. In the middle of his ascension in the eyes of American viewers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ruffalo too. Wow.
What? Okay, I'm gonna have to watch this maybe tonight. Oh god.
Yeah. Pat yourself on the back. This is a good find.
Yeah, but this movie was good. And like Jamie Foxx, this might have been his first role like this, but he really plays a good like a good underdog, like a
an everyman sort of.
Like, because I remember him always saying in as a cab driver, like when he was talking to Jada, he was like, yeah, I'm just riding the cab, I'm just trying to get my stuff together to start my business, blah 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 blah. And I thought about his same performance in The Soloist, where he's like kind of downtrodden, and even to an extent in Just Mercy, like where he plays that role of being like just kind of pushed down by society and like, trying to keep his pride and his honor. It's just like, okay, Jamie Foxx does this little thing. Like he does that role well. I mean, he's a really good actor, man. Like he can really take it to, multiple levels. So yeah, but Collateral, man, that was a good movie.
Yeah, I like the action of it, and this is one of the early. I mean, a lot was made of the production process. This is Michael Mann shooting almost entirely at night. It takes place, over the course of one night for the most part. In the lives of Vincent, Tom Cruise, a hitman, and the unfortunate cabbie, Jamie Foxx, who ferries him around. And a lot was made of it because Michael Mann was using at the time fairly nascent digital camera technology, and just like the kind of contrast and the darks and stuff just hadn't been really seen before at the time. So I remember a lot was made of it. Actually, by today's standards, it looks kind of, I wouldn't say washed, but kind of muddy compared to what we're able to do now. But at the time, it was supposed to be fairly groundbreaking. And Michael Mann's always kind of, he's really good on stories, but he's always trying to kind of push himself technically, here and there. So I enjoyed this movie. This is a great pick. It was on my list. Damn you to hell. I'm going to go with my second pick. And this
was Tom Cruise, this is the first time he was a bad guy?
A lot was made of this too. I think people consider him a bad guy in Interview with the Vampire, right? Stat.
Okay. I never fully watched that.
Yeah, and I only watched it once, and I kind of forget about it. But this is in the midst of probably like a 15-year run where he was nothing but good guys. So it's fair to say that this definitely broke up the monotony.
Yeah.
All right, so my next pick is, and this is another one it's in the name. It's Ferris Bueller's Day Off. It's super obvious, and it's a little old. Granted, some of our viewers probably weren't even born at this time. But it's the quintessential John Hughes movie. To me, it's the best John Hughes movie. Some people say Breakfast Club. Some people like 16 Candles, whatever. This is the least problematic of all of those. All right, it's just a fun day in the city. All right, they're having fun. Look at our boy pre-Succession, our boy Alan Ruck. Yeah. Mia Sara. Oh, where art thou, Mia Sara? Just incredibly gorgeous in the middle of her run back then. And then of course Matthew Broderick, who's slipped into middle age nicely. He still gets work here and there. And basically, it's just a fun movie. It's a ride. I don't know what more needs to be said. You all generally know the concept. This guy, Ferris Bueller, skips school. Bueller. He skips school just to have a day out on the town with his friends, and because his boy Cameron Alan Ruck is depressed. And he brings along his super hot girlfriend Mia Sara, and they just have a day on the town. They see the Chicago sights. They get in the midst of a Chicago parade. They twist and shout. Somewhere he got his hand some moose and spiked up his hair. I don't know, but it's just the fun. It's the funnest time. There we go. Drink at the movies. It just is, and it takes place all in one day. It's great. It's really great. That's all I got to say about Ferris Bueller. What have you seen Ferris Bueller, right?
Oh yeah. I saw Ferris Bueller. I've always been kind of a car guy. So
they caught that poor car.
So when I was just fascinated how Succession's character
Alan
how
Rudd,
he just how he just kicked his father's car down out of the garage, out of the glass case garage into the. I'm just like, yo man, the car is so nice. What are you doing? What are you doing?
Yeah, man. Pay attention to your kids, or else they might send a car through your glass garage. I'm just saying.
All right. Yeah, and when you talked about Matthew Broderick, his second run, it just reminded me because me and the little one, we watched Hamilton recently, which was great.
I'm on record. I love that movie. That slash movie.
And so when you said Matthew Broderick later career, I was thought about whoa, I forgot. What was it? The producers? Remember they were him and that other guy were so hot.
Yeah,
it was the producers, right?
Yeah, that went on for a few years also. Yeah. Serious Power. Oh, yeah. So it's really a love letter to Chicago and to basically, to your teenage years. Ferris Bueller's Day Off. For all you millennials in the house, check it out. It's definitely a little bit before your time, but you'll have a lot of fun. And it generally holds up. It really does. That's my second. What's your third one, Henry G?
Number 3 for me, this was a Rhone staple growing up, Airplane.
Okay.
For some reason.
Job, Turkey.
Yeah, exactly. For some reason, me and the twins, this was a movie that we watched all the time. Gina would jump in, watch parts of it. My mom would watch parts of it.
But yeah, man, I mean, this movie, man, it was just, and I think it was this movie. Like, I remember the scene where they were all lining up to smack this woman.
Yeah,
smack some sense into her. Because I get Airplane 1 and 2 mixed up, and that dude who reminds me of what's the guy who had the Police Academy run?
Robert Stack, right? This guy.
Oh, the other guy on the previous page.
Robert Hayes. Yeah, Robert Hayes.
He reminds me of Mahoney. Steve Gutenberg. Is that Gutenberg?
That's not Gutenberg, but he favors him. At that time,
yeah. He reminds me of Mahoney. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and Steve Gutenberg was Police Academy. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, man, this movie was just like, for some reason it just stuck with us. I mean, probably because at the time, like, I think we had it on, it's like HBO, and they used to just play stuff in the summertime.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was
in there.
Pilot. Yep.
Yeah, I remember that part. It was just a silly movie, man. It was just silly movie, and it was just fun.
And that was back when you could do like a feature-length spoof and make like real bank at the box office. I mean, it's kind of hard to do that kind of stuff now. I think we're probably too jaded as a society. But
Right.
I mean, it was really Julie Haggerty too. You see Julie Haggerty pop up as like in mother or grandmother roles here and there now. But I'll forever remember her as in Airplane.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Because I think she was in the last time I saw her. Correct me if I'm wrong. Was she in A Marriage Story?
She was in Marriage Story.
Okay.
She was the mother.
She was the mom. Yeah.
Yes, I think ScarJo's mom.
Yes.
Yeah, ScarJo's mom. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
yeah, this is fun, and of course one of the classic scenes from Airplane is the whole old white woman translating jive. First of all, I mean, the 70s were wild, I guess, because I guess jive was a bit of a thing. I mean, in the 80s, it derisively was turned into ebonics, whatever. But we all know a bit of the AAVE, as we would call it now, African American, vernacular English or whatever. But yeah, the old white lady translating jive just were pretty.
That was funny, man.
It was pretty funny.
Yes, it was funny. Yeah.
All right, good. So far, I mean, I did not have Airplane on my list, so I'm going to also take one that might be on your list off. Can't believe it lasted this long. My third pick is Do the Right Thing. Whew.
Oh yes.
Yeah, all right, got there. I mean, it's classic. It's Spike. I mean, what more needs to be said? We've actually covered it a lot on this podcast in the last few weeks. My boy Marty from Scotland was talking about this, I think, a few weeks ago. And it's just a great Spike Lee joint. It takes place on the hottest day in Brooklyn back in the late 80s. Spike plays, one of the main characters, this delivery boy, pizza boy for a racist owner's pizza shop. And tempers just boil over. It's hot. People are upset. Racial tensions bubble up. It's the late 80s. Stuff's going down. There was, racial unrest in New York at the time. It's set in Brooklyn and Bed-Stuy. Bed-Stuy, you or die. I mean, Radio Raheem, all this, Bill Nunn. I mean, it's just so. I mean, it's of its time, but also similarly timeless. People are going to be studying this movie in film school, forever.
Yeah.
Giancarlo in another new look.
Yep. The hair.
Yeah, and this is one of the few Spike Lee movies I would say, because we actually talked about him in undergrad. I took my drama class over at Spelman College, and I'll never forget. We were discussing his oeuvre in one of my classes, and the professor, she was like, he doesn't really know how to end a movie; it always devolves into violence, and it's true. But this is one of the few of his movies that devolves into violence, naturally. Like there's nowhere else to go with all the way the whole movie was kind of boiling up. Something like Bamboozled, probably could have done without the actual end violence. I couldn't see anything but like throwing a trash can through that window. It was something had to give. After Radio Raheem goes down, something got to give. So this is I do think this is definitely one of Spike's best films, if not his best film. That Malcolm X is up there, and it takes place in one day, one very hot Brooklyn day.
Yep. Solid pick.
Thanks, sir.
Classic pick.
So what's your fourth one?
I'm gonna go with the first time I was introduced to this character. This was back when Netflix was mainly with the DVD releases or DVD menus. So this was the Crank movies, man. I saw Jason Statham in Crank.
I think I was working at one of my restaurants at the time, and I had a buddy that worked there, and he was really into movies, and he was like, "Yeah, man, you gotta check out Crank," and I'm like, "Okay, we'll check out Crank," and I was like, "Yo, this is crazy, and it's crazy fun, and it's good. It's just like
And it is
super
one
over
day. He's
the
hopped
top."
up on
Yeah,
up for one day. Yeah.
yeah, and it's just like he can't go to sleep, and he's oh shoot, there was homeboy from Lincoln Park, but yeah, it was just so much fun. It was just over the top. I remember it being super colorful. It came out like '06.
And a very hyperkinetic lens too. I remember. I mean, I only
Yeah,
saw it in the theater, but I remember like a lot of cutting and swooping, cameras and stuff like that. Yeah.
yeah,
All
yeah,
right.
man. That was the first time I saw Statham too, and so then I started following him, and I've watched a lot of his movies ever since.
Dude is 51. All right. He must be like part
Wow.
Sicilian or something, or you got some. I mean, he's not cracking either because he looked straight fit up against The Rock in that last Hobbs and Shaw. I mean,
Oh yeah.
get with his workout regimen straight up. Yeah,
Right.
Statham. Yeah, I enjoyed this when I saw it. I do remember. Actually, I think I saw both. I definitely enjoyed the first one more than the second one. And it is a wild ride. It's an interesting pick. I'm kind of glad we are actually, missing each other's picks because I get to do my fourth pick, which is Speed.
Oh yeah.
Quiz hot shot. Yeah, 1994, Keanu Reeves. This is largely credited as being the movie that sent him out to be an action hero. Because before this, we knew him as Bill and Ted. We knew him as actually. Let's take a quick cultural cul-de-sac and do his IMDb real quick, because I'm pretty sure before Speed, it was mostly kind of character work, drama, young blood. Okay, hockey. No,
He had
River's Edge. That's definitely like
Point Break.
he had, but I think that wasn't that after or was that actually was '89, wasn't it? Hold on, let me see. When was Point Break? Point Break was 91. All right, so these came out. Yeah, all right, you're right. So Point Break did set him down that path, but it was still kind of that wasn't a big budget movie. Speed was big budget action, and this was one. Yeah, and it's Dracula much. Yeah, so he did acty stuff, and then Speed is like, all right, we're gonna give you 10, 15, 20 million. Be the face of our movie, and that's definitely what set him down his course. It also, of course, introduced us widely. I mean, she'd been working, not necessarily in obscurity, but just on a lower level. Sandra Bullock, she totally steals the movie. Very charming as Annie, the very cute Arizona Wildcat, alumnus who was kind of forced in a situation where she had to drive the bus and keep it going. Was it 55 miles an hour? Can't drop below 55 miles an hour, otherwise the bus will explode with a I guess a speed-based bomb on the bus. And he plays Jack Traven, FBI hostage negotiator, hostage SWAT. So I think LA SWAT trying to defuse literally the situation. And then of course they kind of get a little bit of a vibe or whatever. But Speed is great. I mean, just two great central performances. Made bigger stars than both. I loved it. What do you remember about Speed?
I saw parts of Speed, but I never fully dug into the whole thing, man.
Oh wow! I mean, I think it's like 90 minutes. It goes by fast, and it never slows down too.
Yeah. It's I just remember it being very big. Like it was like Speed. It was just all over the place, and it seemed like. I guess it seemed like back then, I would almost say movies were bigger because when something really hit, everyone kind of watched it or you heard about it.
Right.
Now it seems like entertainment is so niche, you know what I mean? Outlander's pretty big. I haven't seen it yet. I know you're E-Loris, so you've seen everything. But yeah, I remember it being huge and you couldn't miss it. So that's why I saw parts of it. I never saw the whole thing all the way through, but I just remember it being a huge movie.
I mean, it was a summer movie. I think it came out June of that year or something. I highly recommend you go see it. You'll love it, and it goes by real quick, hella quick. Yeah, Speed. I love it. All right, so that's my fourth movie. What's your final movie?
Oh, well, my number 5, man. Since we're talking about your girl Sandy Bullock, I'm gonna jump in with Gravity.
Oh, does that take place over a day?
That's what it says.
I mean, it's outer space, so I guess time is relative. But all right, I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you. Screw fuck it. I'll give it to you.
Yeah, I mean, I said the same thing because I was like, what? Gravity's like not. It's like, huh. But yeah, it was when I Googled some movies, it was like that was part of it. But the reason I part this one up is I love the movie. It was very stark, very. I mean, it's really her in there.
How did you see it first? How did you see it in the
I
theater?
went to the theater. That's another reason it made a strong impression.
Was it IMAX screen or like? Because I made sure to get the big experience.
It was a regular theater screen, but because I feel like I was with my baby mama when we went to see that one. But it was just like us two in the movies by ourselves. It was like no one really there.
Okay.
And it was just like I think you are too. Yeah, because I think you're on The Expanse. Yeah, you're in a big.
Oh, I love The Expanse. Yeah, I'm all kind
of. Yeah, I love space movies and stuff like that. So it was.
Oh well, shit. We have to bring you back with us for the space thing. Actually, let me write this down. We'll do like top 5 space movies next time you're on. It's actually a good idea. I don't think we've really done any space stuff yet. So.
Yeah, I mean, because plus I mean, you and I, we're 80s kids, so like the space program was huge, man. I mean, growing up, you know what I mean? Like, space shuttles, like its toys were great. I remember unfortunately, when the Challenger exploded, for some reason, I mean, they probably wouldn't do this now, but in my elementary school, they got all of us, in our classrooms, and they wheeled in the televisions like they did on those big rolly things, and they showed us what happened, and we're just like, oh no, but yeah, man.
Wow.
So
yeah, I remember watching that in real time too. It was like,
yeah, teacher. Everyone was so hyped about the teacher going up there.
Exactly. Has the teacher gone up since? I don't think so. Yeah, but that was. I mean, it was shocking. A little dramatic. But I mean, you're right. There was a big, and I think we're seeing, partially because it's now privatized, we're starting to see a bit of a resurgence about space exploration. But if you don't really have like the full weight of the government behind it, I mean, we probably won't reach those levels of excitement again until something big happens, like a moon-based colony, or we set up like camp on Mars or something. And even that is still like a decade away. So.
Yeah. We're still waiting for your boy from Succession to get his space program up and running. I mean, his rocket blew up that last time, right?
It's going to be a while, at least another 18 months.
Yeah. So, but yeah, man, this movie was good because it was like intense. I remember the music kind of being like subtle, but it helped with it and everything. It was just like, I just felt like I was almost in space, like with Sandra. You know what I mean? I mean, I just like that movie, man. It was just.
Look at that, 96 Metascore. That's unheard of. Yeah, Alfonso Cuarón. I want to say he won an Oscar for this. I'm not sure. I know she did. She won an Oscar for this.
Oh, she won for this one?
You know what? Let me not talk out of my ass. Hold on. Let's verify. We're in the age of facts. No fake blur.
One Oscar.
Won Oscar. It was got it.
Yeah, you got it, man.
Oh no, she actually. Oh no. Oh, I'm sorry. She was not. You know what? Let me get my hands down. She was nominated for it, but she won for The Blind Side. That's right. So she was nominated. I mean, she probably won a Golden Globe for it. Did she win that? No, I'm lying again. Never mind. Yeah, so she won her Oscar for The Blind Side, but she definitely was nominated Best Actress for Gravity. And it's a one-woman show. I mean, Clooney's in there for like 20 minutes, and then he out. So. This is great stuff. And yeah, and I saw it on the big IMAX screen. I wanted the full experience. I wanted to feel immersed. You really do feel like you're immersed. All that stuff you said too about the music is true. I want to say, let me make sure this is right. I want to say this is our boy Zimmer again, but let me not tell that lie. Who did the music? I want to say Stephen Price.
Huh. Oh. I don't even know that guy.
I do not either. And 40 credits. Okay, so he hasn't really done it. That's music.
Well, he was in Baby Driver. He did Baby Driver.
Oh, composer. Maybe that's what I need to look at. 27. Okay, there you go. So then, yeah, Baby Driver, American Assassin. I like that music. That was good.
Is that the one with the kid?
Teen Wolf, Dylan O'Brien.
Yeah. And was Homeboy in there? Mr. Mom.
Yeah, Michael Keaton, man.
Yeah.
Yes, Michael Keaton playing a badass too. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, to this, I get that its release date did it no favors. It got dumped in like September. It was never a great month for releases, but my God, that movie bangs, it slaps. It's got our girl Sanaa there with a great wig, perfectly lined up bangs. I mean, Dylan O'Brien. I knew him from the Maze Runner movies, but
yeah, that's what I heard about.
He showed me something that, like, he bulked up. He's like legit badass in this, and in that one GIF, which I'm sure I've used several times, where he just kind of clicks the gun and I love that movie, man. Love
that movie. Was really good.
I really enjoyed
it. Surprise.
Yeah, Pleasant Surprise. It's definitely a nice, like, kind of HBO movie. You're like, yeah, I'll check this out. And the next thing you know, you spent 2 hours and like, damn, that shit was good, you know?
Yep.
Quick cultural cul-de-sac there. All right, so that's a great pick. Gravity, great movie. And I will close out going 5 for 5 of all the movies I wanted with the cult classic, which I'm pretty sure you haven't even seen. It's called Go. And actually, it might take me a second to get the actual. Yeah, actually, there we go. That's good. It's called Go, not the game Go. It's the movie Go. Doug Liman, late 90s.
Yeah.
Still burning from his swingers fame. Have you seen Go, Henry G?
I haven't. I remember this. You know why? Because this was like late 90s. You say 99. This was when like Blockbuster, and we had I don't know if you had Hollywood Video, but we had that in Virginia. So like, this was one of the movies that I would look at and be like, should I get this tonight? You know what I mean? Like, I would go to the store because you would just go there and just look to see what you wanted to get. I never saw it though. Is it good? Definitely a
video store favorite. I think it's great. I haven't seen it in a while. I actually used to own it on DVD. I'm pretty sure.
Ooh, okay.
It had one of those kind of buzzy young casts, largely white, granted, but buzzy young cast that everyone wanted to work with. You know, Jay Moore. Man, remember when Jay Moore tried to happen? Whew, Jerry Maguire and stuff. Scott Wolf off his Party of 5 days. Katie Holmes, of course, and Dawson's Creek, and William Fichtner. Our boy, Mr. That Guy, definitely one of those that guys who you've seen everywhere. He's Willie Sharp in Armageddon. He's in a lot of stuff. He steadily works.
Yeah, he's Michael Bay's guy. Michael Bay puts him in a lot. But then again, he was in, what you said, he's that guy. Because Michael, man, I always remember him in Heat, because Heat was like my movie. And he was in Heat too. He was like the corrupt financier.
Oh, was he? Okay, yeah, that makes sense though too.
I think
he's everywhere, and he's actually made a living being. I mean, I've never quite understood if this is like a part of either ambition or just like for whatever reason Hollywood's got him cast a second banana. But like, he never stops working, is consistently excellent at everything he does, and he's almost never a leading man. It's wild. But this movie is basically like it's takes place over one night, 3 somewhat divergent stories that kind of end up crossing and sharing DNA by the end. It's a really slick way they did it, really well written. Totally Timothy Olyphant. This is kind of what helped put me on to him. That and the Scream movies, so you remember those. Scream, Jay Moore, yeah, and Sarah Polley. Sarah Polley, I want to say Sarah Polley wrote this, and she also was. It's not like Hollywood tried to make her happen, but she never really had as much interest in making things happen. She's always an indie kid. She's from Canada. I want to say she wrote this, and I think she wanted to direct it, but the studio wouldn't let her, so they had Doug Liman come in and direct it. Of course, he killed it. Taye Diggs, yeah. And and I love the way it was written to get like the 3 different storylines to kind of converge at the end. And I'm overdue for rewatch. This is actually pretty good. This is, a night of being young in the life of Los Angelinos on a wild drug-fueled night. Go. And on that tip, we shall go ourselves. Just take a short break to talk about the DraftStream game, how to play it for those of you who are so inclined to partake. We'll come back right after this message with our quarantine movie of the week. We're back. Since the over-under has been mothballed until the theaters reopen, we are coming back once again with our quarantine movie of the week. Last week's quarantine movie of the week on Wednesday was Clueless. this week, and allow me to share my screen, is the movie Patriot Games. Are you familiar with Patriot Games, Henry G?
Of course.
Oh, wow. A resounding record. All right. What do you remember about Patriot Games, Henry G?
Man, I'm trying to see because they all kind of blur together. The one I remember most is the one with Brad Pitt and Harrison Ford. I don't know if that's this one or if that's
similar territory, dealing with like
the Tom Clancy one.
Irish politics. I don't, was he in? It was called The Devil May something, and and then they end up on a boat in New York Harbor or something. That was a different movie. Not quite Tom Clancy, I don't think. But this one is pretty cool. It's Harrison Ford is Tom Clancy. As everyone knows, Tom Clancy is a bit of a casting football among white men in Hollywood for some reason. I thought, obviously, I think, well, I would say obviously, I think actually Alec Baldwin, the originator on screen of Jack Ryan, was great. But for some reason, he didn't want to do it again, or something happened, and so they turned to Harrison Ford, who was great. He did 2 of them, I think, and Patriot Games, the first one, and basically deals with Jack Ryan as a CIA analyst, kind of working his way up the ladder, who finds himself the target of IRA attacks in the U.S. And for those of you who may not remember or who are too young to have gone through this troubled period of time, the Irish Republican Army basically, camping out in North Ireland, trying to get for a fully free Ireland. As those of you who are geographically challenged may not know, North Ireland is one of the 4 countries that make up Great Britain or United Kingdom, and there's always like this fight for independence or to be part of like Ireland proper, and the whole Catholic Protestant thing, which it's way over my head. But all that stuff was going down, people were dying for it, and there were some terrorist activities, and it almost never came on this side of the pond, but in this movie it did, and it was wild because in the books, and I remember reading, I went through a bunch of Tom Clancy books when I was a kid, like in high school. Like I loved them. I thought his amount of detail was fascinating, except for in Some of All Fears, he literally spent an entire chapter, like 20 pages, on how a nuclear bomb erupts. It's the most boring shit ever. I kind of had to skip that chapter. But anyways, I thought he was a really talented writer. Definitely had a flair for drama and action. And I thought the ways they differed in the movie from the book were really smart. They amp up the action. Sean Bean, aka Eddard Stark.
Yeah.
A couple decades early, he was in there as one of the IRA guys, and James Earl Jones played in a bit of nice casting. He played his kind of like his consigliere in the CIA, Jim Greer, which now the latest version, which has been resuscitated for the umpteenth time with John Krasinski playing Jack Ryan.
Yes, I watched
totally
that.
Different. Yeah, like a young Jack Ryan. Because Jack Ryan we get in this one, he's married. He's a bit of like he's a CIA analyst, but he's kind of like he's more on the wonk side. Like he's more like kind of like middle management, to an extent. Whereas this Jack Ryan with John Krasinski, he's a young analyst. He's in the field more, and I always thought it was kind of funny how in the books and the movies they kept trying to invent ways to get Harrison Ford from behind a desk. You're an analyst. You're not going out in the field, but they kept like getting him out there. So I thought this was kind of cool. Basically, his family's at peril. Like he makes some call that leads to a military strike or something, and the IRA are seeking revenge on his family. And it's harrowing. It's exciting. A lot of action. And I recommend it. It's been a while.
I'm gonna check that one out because I know the other one. Well, I need to check both of them out because those.
Clear and Present Danger. That's the one you're thinking of, or
that's it. Mm-hmm. Clear and Present Danger.
Wait, so you said Brad Pitt was in that?
Yeah, he's like the main antagonist to.
Really? Oh wow! I don't remember.
Yeah, he's Irish. Because I remember he has a line where he's. I forgot, but yeah, I remember him being in there.
Oh no, I think you're okay. I know which one you're thinking of. You're talking about The Devil's Own.
The Devil's Own.
Yeah, that was a big deal. That one, I was like, is he in? Because Clear Present Danger takes place in like South America. I'm like, I don't think he's in that one. But no, yeah, I remember The Devil's Own. That was good. Brad Pitt, sneaky talented accents, man. Like for real.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, of course, everyone knows his I was gonna say not crikey is not limey. It's on the tip of my tongue in Snatch.
That crazy English dialect that
the gypsies, but a version of them,
yeah.
we call them. Yeah. Sorry if I offended anyone. I'm not sure what the correct term of travelers are right now, but yeah, it's I am out of the caravan. Yeah, they like dogs.
Yeah,
They like dogs.
Yep.
and it's so bad it had to be translated like on the screen even before closed captioning. It was wild. But yeah, and also his Irish accent's really good in this. He's sneaky talented accents. I like him. I like him as an actor. So make sure you guys check it out. Tweet us your tweet length review at Play Cinema Draft of what you thought of Patriot Games and Harrison Ford in it. Okay, time for our DraftStream update. Last week, return to form for the bird. The bird was the word. The Canadian invasion has returned. Will it be a Canadian occupation? Will he come back for seconds this week? I hope not. Came back, took the top 2 money slots. Actually, I think the week before that, you won the game, didn't you? Yeah. Henry G. So what's your strategy going into this week? Anything you like? And what honestly and admittedly is just a super lackluster week as far as content goes. I'm not looking forward to watching any of these, honestly, except for Fear City, which I'm already started watching.
I haven't this is the first time I've really delved into the sheet right now. So Fear City's definitely on there. That Kissing Booth movie threw me off because that was on. It's like sometimes when I look up trailers that different movies come up. So that Kissing Booth 2 thing came up because I was blown away. Well, not blown away, but what was the show from last week that did really well? Like the teen, like Brazilian drama.
Oh yeah, well not Law. What was it? Kissing Game. Yeah, Kissing Game.
Yes,
Game, Kissing Booth. Yeah.
I might have to start putting the Brazilians on there as like my Indians of the West Southwest because their movies seem to do good because they had another one.
Brazilian movie.
Yeah, man. You know what I mean? Like they did very well. I had Law on my last one. I'm super
Brazilians and Indians, man. I mean, this one did okay, and actually for the price, I think we actually got value. What was let's see, Law? What did it do? Was it was fairly cheap. So it actually made probably met its value, 85-ish points. Yeah, about made value. So yeah, I mean between the Indians and Brazilians, and honestly, Prime. Anything on Prime so far hasn't totally tanked. So I don't mind using Prime as a strategy. But I will. That's an interesting point you made. I will keep my eye out for Brazilian stuff now that you mentioned it.
Yeah, I mean, they tend to do well, man. But yeah, I went into last week with a little bit of different strategy. Tried to get. There was so much quality last week, at least in my opinion, and it was like a lot of good price. Like my girl bombed, the Flannery chick.
77. Just she did not live up to expectations, especially with the price too. I don't think it was.
I just thought with that documentary, I was going with that being like boom,
But yeah, niche though. I mean, old Southern writer. I mean, who even reads it?
Yeah. But I thought that would be the reason it would be good because it's so niche that like the people that know her would just be like, oh, this is a great movie. We're like one of 20 people that listened to her or read her books or whatever. I mean, of course, she was
Virtual Studios is a platform they tend to do pretty decent because I mean it's essentially fancy VOD. I mean, and these are people who are basically supporting their local theater by using VOD. So I see what you're saying. It's usually people who are, like I said, seeking her out, super niche, and who are also inclined to support the arts like that. So I mean, it wasn't. I mean, yours wasn't like a bad call. It seemed like if you didn't have
the Fatal Affair killed me.
Fatal Affair was your Fatal Affair, yes. Unless you're going for a low ball, Fatal Affair was definitely an anchor on your sheet. And if you didn't have a heaping helping of Lassie, and look at this, the rare 7 stack of Psych 2, Lassie Come Home. pretty much sealed the deal for your boy Jay Bird this week. And kind of like you, I actually wait as late as possible now. I mean, it's kind of what the cool kids are doing. I noticed like Jay Bird will get his in with like a half hour to go. If that, you want the latest amount of information, you want to check the latest scores because I mean, while there's always movement in the game, I mean, at least you have a general idea of what you think stuff might perform if you get the latest scores possible. And so I didn't do that last week, which appropriately cost me a chance at winning. So I'm definitely gonna do it this week. I think I've got the time. And I honestly don't really know where I'm going to go this week. I mean, nothing really jumps out to me. Kissing Booth, probably, but it's going to get critically savage because the Kissing Booth, the first one, was like 17 and 30%. It's awful, which is also what kind of helped in my salary making for Kissing Booth because I figured it's only going to do but so much, right? Like, I mean, but the people who like it really like it. So it'll be just how bad will the critical reviews be as opposed to the 60% overweight on the audience scores? Like, I don't know. We'll just have to see.
Yeah.
So this might be cheap value here. I'm not 100% convinced. The dog house, people like their dogs and their pets, so might be a feel-good thing. Also, I think it already aired over in Australia. So there's a little bit of info on it already. It's a pretty high score considering but small sample size theater, 15 people. So I don't know. It's anyone's game this week. It really is. I have no real strategy as of yet.
Yeah, I mean, I saw my boy Dan Stevens in the movie with Allison Brie this week.
The rental. Yeah.
See, the only thing is, like with the horror ones, man, like it says horror thriller. Like I'm so anti-horror that I'm just such a scaredy pants. So like even last week with Ghost of War, man, like I was like, all right, I'm gonna click on this trailer, and it was so interesting. Like I finished it, but like one of the there was an Indian movie the other 2 or 3 weeks ago that was a horror movie, and I was just like, yeah, this is gonna give me nightmares. I'm like it was one of those ones. They had like supernatural characters or something. But yeah, that Dan Stevens, Allison Brie, because what's my boy's name? Limtov. Yes, I'm Russian. Yes. That's my
Eurovision, baby. The super hit of the summer. Yeah, so I just did a quick average of the scores in horror movies, based on total score here, your base score, and only 80 points. I mean, that's kind of a bit of a middling to low average. So just let that be your guide. I mean, I love coming to the master score list. I'm not sure if you ever use it, but I mean, in addition to not only helping me figure out some stuff as far as a salary goes, but it just really helps me figure out on strategy. On game day, it's like, all right, if something's kind of close, like a toss up between, let's do the other way. If something's like a toss up between a couple titles, whatever, if I've got intel that this genre or this platform, historically, and we're getting more of a sample size. Each week our sample size grows. It's very helpful. Then, this is all good information to know. So I, definitely when I'm setting salaries, it's helpful, but especially if I'm coming down to some tight decision-making, or if I can't get everything I want and need to drop like, one actor from my call sheet, sometimes I'll consult the master score list to see what the numbers say. What's the data?
It's all about that data, baby.
Yeah, and for those of you who overlook it or are not sure where to find it, we always keep it here actually, let's go to this one. On the scoring tab down here, master score list, just click on that and it'll take you to here. And I'm not sure if they'll let you do it in view mode. If not, make a copy for yourself and feel free to sort to your heart's desire and check it out. And I love sorting by genre. I like sorting by platform. That tends to give me some of the best information and to see how stuff performed. You've got all your stats here. Stats on stats on stats.
On stats.
Whoa. That's right. All right. We're going to bring this in for a landing. Make sure, and before we go, make sure with the Cinema Draft game, you click the link in the description to take you to the latest offering, which is due in a very short period of time. But actually, by the time you watch this or listen to this, you will probably have less than a day of time to submit your call sheet. They're all due by 6 p.m. Pacific time. Just imaginary drink on Thursdays. And we once again, we are playing for a $50 prize pool eligible to our top 2 non-Cinema Draft employee spots. $35 to first, $15 to second, with also a $10 low ball bonus. How low can you go? To qualify for the low ball bonus, you have to have the lowest performing score, a minimum of $75,000 spent on your call sheet from your budget, and at least one actor from 3 different titles. So definitely make sure you participate. It's free to play. And y'all out of work, come get this money, damn it. All right. So we are going to bring this in for a landing. Thanks again, Henry G.
My pleasure.
Wrap it up for yourself. Appreciate you coming back on the pod. You are welcome anytime. Love hearing from you from the RVA. And this is the time of the podcast where we ask you to plug your ish. So if you have any ish to plug, now's the time to plug it.
My plug is just like, let's get healthy, America. Well, shoot, let's get healthy, world. Let's beat this Rona. Let's try to stay safe. Let's try to wash our hands, wear a mask,
Please.
Let's just try to, let's try to knock this out. Also, like, shout out to MLB. Baseball is coming back tomorrow. Testing is doing good with them. They've done a really good job. So hopefully one thing I hope with sports coming back, the NBA bubble, there's supposed to be 0 tests so far in the bubble.
Zero test positive. Yeah, 0 positive tests.
So hopefully this, sports can kind of show the country like how we can, maybe do things a little bit better so we can get the rest of the country back on track.
No, amen to that. And I mean, quick cul-de-sac is, as you know, from my Twitter and stuff, I'm obsessed with coronavirus stuff. I want to stay healthy. I have people in my life who are, with high comorbidities for the stuff. I'm definitely not trying to transmit to anyone or whatever. I want us to take this very, very seriously. But I am a little concerned with sports being back in general, because even the NBA bubble, because while they are in the bubble, I know staff aren't, they're probably still going home every day, riding buses or going, whatever, they're putting themselves exposed, whatever. I'm glad to see that of all the sports, of all the major sports, it seems like both soccer and NBA has done it the best. Get them all in one place, keep them safe. I am very concerned about, place. Well, I think hockey, I'm not sure if hockey is trying to do their own bubble. They probably should. I'm very concerned about MLB because they're basically going to go, to all these different cities and stuff, and there are a lot of vectors for infection and stuff like that. So please be safe, professional athletes. And I'm looking at you too, especially NFL. We all know y'all don't give a damn about the players. Might as well damn near be cattle to you. But I'm telling you, if they get sick on your watch without any proper protections and so it's going to be a shit show. So just get it together, America. Get it together, world. Protect your players, protect your people. Let's get through this all together. And if we just do the right thing, like you said, wash your hands, wear a mask, keep your distance. Well, damn it, maybe this time next year we will be able to enjoy, society as we're accustomed to having seen it. All right.
Yeah. Me and my son, we missed the movies, man. That was
I missed the movies too. It's sad Tenet got taken off the schedule indefinitely. We all called it, at least I called it, and I'm not even over here gleefully like, ha ha ha, they took 10 off the schedule. I'm just like, told you, just do the right thing. Do the right thing, shut things down quick and hard, and who knows, a few months from now, we can have some semblance of regular life, all right? I guess that's my ish. I don't usually plug an ish. That's my ish. This whole thing's a plug for me anyways. But I hope you guys will take care of yourselves. Be safe. Be better than my damn video. It keeps cutting in and out. Thanks for coming by again, Henry G. Appreciate your presence. We'll bring you back as soon as we can. Everyone else, do not go see a movie or something. Quarantine with a movie or something.
No doubt.
Peace.
Peace, world.